Good morning, Essex County College family. This is the Virtual Cafe. Welcome to episode 21. This is Goals and Dreams. Once again, we have our beloved guest, Dr. Spellman, with us this morning. Good morning, Dr. Spellman. How are you?
Good morning. This is a great day. Great day for learning.
What are we going to be learning about today,
I'm
sir?
the student. I look to learn every day. But there's a very special subject we want to talk about today. And it's my pleasure to come and to know that this is being recorded and preserved. I want students to be able to consult with this presentation I'm about to make, because it can make a difference in one's life. This is Essex County College. I call it the greatest opportunity center in the whole area. And this morning we want to talk about something that's very important to your motivation. Matter of fact, the subject is goal setting as a system of motivation and personal leadership. There's a big difference when you get up in the morning and you have a goal versus you just go from day to day, paycheck to paycheck, month to month. Life is too short and too exciting, and you are too bright and you are too smart just to float through life. We didn't come here to float. We came to learn, and we came to give. We came to give things and make them better. I have a great job here. I always say I have the greatest job in the college. As a professor there, I can touch someone's mind, and students will touch me. I'll be frank with you, students. I've learned so many things. And the program I'm using right now is called Camtasia. A student taught me that program. So learning has many ways. It's not a professor that knows everything. And even with a PhD, the thing that the PhD teaches you is how little you know compared to what there is to know. So I want you to stick with me. I want you to get a notebook. I want you to listen to me for a few minutes and see whether this doesn't have an impact on your whole life. We call it goal setting as a system. In other words, you use this over and over again of motivation and personal leadership. You lead yourself. So we come this morning and we represent this great institution, Essex County College. We've been around 52 years now, and thousands have come before us. So I call it the greatest opportunity center in this community. It's an institution that's dedicated to your success. It's a place where you can discover new and exciting things about yourself that you didn't know. You have talents and gifts you didn't know you had. It's an institution with a 52-year history of record success and over 500,000 graduates. So we have come this morning. But the question is, why is it that some people achieve and there are others who do not? They live, but they don't achieve. Why are some individuals targeted and focused on what they are going to do while others are not? What is the difference between what we call an achiever and what I call an exister? Someone just floats through and they are there. And what is the secret of being a winner? And I'm here to tell you that it's a matter of getting in your mind a few goals that you would like to reach for. Immediate goals, long-term goals, not too many goals, but very important. My granddaughter showed me when she came last Thanksgiving, and she told me she's 10 years old, but she has a 5-year plan. Wow, that's direction. That's motivation. And a goal setter is sort of like an eagle. I love the eagle because The eagle is what we call a kingly bird. An eagle can see further than many of the other birds and can see a storm 30 miles away. An eagle can fly higher than a lot of birds. An eagle can fly longer and faster than other birds. An eagle can go as fast as 140 miles an hour and then come almost to a screeching halt, like you see with a landing gear of an airplane, and stop and pick up fish or pick up whatever it has. An eagle decides what it's going to eat in the morning. It's not like the buzzard who will go picking in the garbage cans or whatever you can get. No, eagle decides that she wants to fowl for that day. They want fish for that day, and they go out looking for it. But one of the most fascinating things about the eagle, which relates to us here, is the fact that an eagle can stay in the air over 17 hours a day. You say, well, how did they do that?
That's crazy.
What kind of energy can they exert to stay in the air 17 hours a day? Well, it's quite simple. See, an eagle doesn't waste a lot of energy flapping its wings. An eagle mounts the air, and when the eagle stretches out her wings, they mount the air and they do what we call soar. And in World War II, they used to have gliders, which would be pulled into combat. They didn't have an engine, but it could be pulled, and because it could soar in the air. So the goal this morning, no one can predict what heights you can soar. Even you will not know until you spread your wings. And they found an eagle way up in Newfoundland. Somebody said, well, somebody must have put them on a plane to come up here. They went back and researched it and found out that eagle had flown all the way up there, but they had mounted the wind. So the wind is your guide. Your wings are your faith, and you got to keep them out there. And you have to move forward in your life. So goal setting this morning, you got to have goals. Goals, whether it's a material one like a car or a house or an educational degree or a business, but you have to have goals. All good business people have goals. And they're not just a road to nowhere. A road is there, but you can't have a road to nowhere. You got to know in what direction you're going, and you have to have a goal for yourself. And so what I just want to show you, I want to answer these questions. I want to show you how a system of goal setting and what we call action planning can energize your whole life and identify the particulars of goal setting as a system. You do it every time. Whatever you want, you set up that same system, and you have an action plan. Inspirations help us to develop goals. How many times have you seen somebody say, well, I want to do that. I think I can do that as well. And so I often tell the students at Essex County College, and this has helped, I never tell you what to do or what to major in, but I ask you some fundamental questions. Looking at things you do well, what is it that you do better than anyone else? What are some skills and talents and gifts that you have that you never had a chance to use? Or maybe what are those things you can do well, like cook or design or do things, construct things, and you don't even know you have those skills? And then the second is, what is it that you do better than anyone else? And what are those things you like to do? That ought to give you some direction as to where you're going in your career. If you can't sit behind a computer 8 hours a day, then maybe yours. I know someone who was a physician and became a mounted police officer on a horse up in Canada because they like the outdoors. Then I've seen construction workers, they make, I have a friend who makes $1,500 a night operating one of those cranes over there at LaGuardia Airport right now. They're building. makes $1,500 a night, but he freezes, and he's in one of those machines that shakes him, and so his back is always out. But he makes $1,500 in the cold. So maybe you don't like the cold. Maybe you like being in an office. So inspirations help us develop goals. People, famous people. And you need to assess a lot of those famous people around our houses who went before us. They do things. But goal setting involves assessing things, timetables, costs, obstacles, and challenges. And I don't care what kind of goal you have, you're always going to have some obstacle, whether it's time, it's money, or what have you. And you have to overcome that. And then you've got to recognize your own talent. I tell you, every time I come to class, every course, you're not working to your potential. You don't realize how talented and how gifted you really are. And you're an achiever, and you have the mind power to do just about anything you want, to compete any way you want. You just need to go to work. So the question is, what is a goal? And quite simply, if you look at the underlying words, a goal is a desired result. One may be to buy a house, complete college, to own your own business, to be promoted, to make history, to achieve a record. See, these are all goals that people have. And the reason for it is by you setting goals, you set a direction. It determines your behavior. It boosts your motivation. It boosts your self-confidence. And if you don't think you can win, you shouldn't get on the starting line. But everyone on that starting line thinks that they can win. And then you learn how to set smart short-term goals to reach longer-term goals. So the mistakes that too many people make, though, however, are they make a goal too large. Someone said, well, I need a car. Well, I want a Rolls Royce. Well, Rolls Royce is thousands and thousands of dollars when you need a good car to get to work. So sometimes it's too many or not specific enough. And you got to learn how to write your goals down. You got to learn how to get a picture of what you want. If it's a house, or if it's a boat, or if it's a car, you get a picture of what you want. And you get that fixed in your mind. When I was working on my doctorate at NYU, I used to go on the path, and the tracks would freeze up, and we'd sit there an hour and a half, and they'd come and make the tracks in order that they wouldn't freeze up. But while I sat there, I didn't get mad or upset. I just kept my goal in my mind. So I want you to get this point I'm about to make. Turning back or stopping is not an option. We're going to, through a situation with this coronavirus right now, that the whole world has been tapped. According to the news, we just passed the 100,000 Americans who have died. And there are certain things that are very discouraging, but then there are things that we need to do to lift things up. For example, right now I heard about jobs out there in what we call people being hired as tracers. And they go out and someone who has the virus, they find out who they had contact with. And those tracers are making like $56,000 a year. And so this is big time. Maybe it won't last forever, but sometimes jobs open up because of a crisis. And there was a man back in 1927 who wanted to fly across the Atlantic Ocean. His name was Charles Lindbergh. And he's very famous because he was the first and only one to fly across the Atlantic in what we call a plane they named the Spirit of St. Louis. And he packed as much food as he could, but the thing he didn't put as much food in there as he put extra fuel, and he lightened the plane, and he took off from going from New York to Paris. But what I want you to see I call you great ones, and you are great ones. What I want you to see great ones, he started out in New York, and he had to cross the Atlantic. But there was a line, that white line. We call it the point of no return. He could not go back after he crossed that point, or if he had tried to go back, he wouldn't have had enough fuel to get back. So therefore, it was a point of no return. And he went on, and he kept his tenacity, and he didn't go to sleep, and he ate in a minimum way, and they saw that plane come over the horizon in Paris, France, and he was the first. I've had a chance to fly across the Atlantic some 50-some times, but Charles Lindbergh was the first man to do that in a plane we call the Spirit of St. Louis. And what I'm saying is, right now, you're confronted with some challenges. You're confronted with some pressures. You need to have that job. You need to have a way of supporting your family. You need to go on. And so you're liable, if we don't watch it, to stop out or to turn back and to quit or to prolong your college education. And I'm here to tell you, and I'm sorry it had to be so hard, but turning back is not an option. Turning back is destruction. It's like a caterpillar. When a caterpillar goes into the cocoon develops that caterpillar. The next time that caterpillar is no longer a caterpillar, you know, we taught you metamorphosis in biology, and when that cocoon develops inside there, you don't come out like you were when you went in. You come out and you're beautiful, you're able to fly, and you're able to flash those wings. And what I'm saying to you is that Essex County College is your incubator. It is when you go from the ground, crawling into this developer. And when you come out from that cocoon, you are flying over your obstacle. And so you've got to go on. There's a finishing line. You've got to keep taking courses. You've got to learn and master how to do online things. But all goals must have an action plan. Now let's remember this. A goal without an action plan is nothing but a wish. And you've heard people say, I want to travel. Well, you follow that up. When my daughter was courting, and fellas would come and they would say, I'm going to law school, I'm going to dental school, I'm going to medical school. So, okay, you follow it up. And I would teach her how to answer and see if they had an action plan. Which medical school? What are you going to major in? What are you going to specialize in? And they would tell her, and she would come back, yes, Dad, it worked again. There's nothing but a blank, nothing but a talking machine. See? So you got to decipher. A lot of people will tell you about what they wish to do, but if they don't have an action plan in place, then they probably won't achieve that goal. So every goal has to have a plan of action. I don't care. You have to write it down and you have to follow it. Yes, you're supposed to dream. Yes, you're supposed to have an imagination about your goal. Then you must have an action plan in order for it to become a success. And there are all kinds of goals. There are small goals. Every January, you see all the commercials on weight loss. Someone, I want to lose weight, or join the gym, or quit smoking, or find a new job, or pay off my debts, or take a trip. All right, that's wonderful. But where's your action plan to do that? And where do you go for help? There are networks. Many students at Essex, particularly those, some coming in from Europe and Africa and the West Indies, they do what is called networking. You can't become an island learner. People, and a good movie to watch is called The Paper Chase by John Houseman. where you have all the law school, the students get together and they study together at the end, and the room is all filled up with papers and notes. But when they left there, everyone knew what everyone else knew. What we have a tendency to do at Essex is we're island learners. We don't call people. There should be 3 people in every class you take that you're able to call and you're able to conference with and you're able to work with. And now with Zoom, you can get Zoom for free. You can talk to each other and study together, and yet you're many distant miles away. Classmate study teams. You need to find someone that you study with. Tutoring centers we have at Essex. And then there's that website. There are 4 of them or 3 of them that I highly recommend. One is called Khan Academy, some 4,000 tutorials in math. Some dogpile.com, it's a research engine, and it looks 15 engines are looking for the question you gave it. Then you have Google, and then you have YouTube, and then you have Facebook. So social media is a tool that allows us to learn much more faster. If I have in the back of me, you might see my encyclopedia back there, but very seldom do I use that now because I can get the answer from Google as rapidly as just typing in the name. So a good goal setter, that person's goals are specific, they're measurable, they're attainable. If you tell me you're going to be flying to the moon and I don't see anything to fly with, then you're not going to do too much. It's got to be attainable. It's got to be relevant. It's got to be time bound. And there are many books that have been written about goal setting. But you go step by step, set the goal, make a plan, get to work, stick to it, and reach that goal. Let's face it, no one starts on a ladder for sightseeing. Either you're going to go all the way or you shouldn't even go up. You need to go with a mind that you're going to make it, and you need to have faith in yourself that you can make it. You got to believe in yourself that you can make it to the top. So this will be I just want to hit a couple more slides, and I hope you're having as much fun as I am.
I am.
You can't be handcuffed and bound by obstacles. Can't let something handcuff you. I often say, if you wanted that car, and I gave you that car, you need that car to get to work, and it's a new car, and there it is. But then someone comes and puts, 7 Doberman in front of you. Well, if you're going to be intimidated, and you know that's a gift to you, then you shouldn't. You should not turn around. So you need to figure out a way, go buy some dog biscuits, go buy some steak or something, so that you go around that obstacle and that you get. So that a lot of things that handcuff you, doubt will handcuff you, fear will handcuff you. Obstacles, every goal has an obstacle. Lack of self-confidence, I can't do it. Oh yes, you can do it. And you've got to go forward with that. And some people back up, they don't like to be criticized. Anything you're doing right, you're going to be criticized for. And if you don't do anything, you're going to be criticized for as well. You're going to be antagonized. And people are going to bring that big instrument of discouragement to keep you from making it. But you don't sail into those icebergs. Yes, look at that ice. Most of that iceberg is under the water, and you don't see it. And you've got to learn in academia, in Essex, in the academic life that you learn how to go around all those obstacles. And the greatest thing in the world is not so much where we are, but in what direction we're moving. You don't want to make one. There's another one that there are all kinds of goals and real touchdowns, career goals, financial goals, educational, academic goals, personal satisfaction goals, and altruistic goals. But you got to want to contribute something to someone. And I'm like a little child. I'm supposed to be an old professor here. but I'm just as enthusiastic about learning new things and learning new technology and learning all kinds of things. And then we have what are called altruistic goals. That's what I love about Essex County College. Our president, Dr. Monroe, talks about the food pantry. He talks about a wellness center. He looks for the total well-being of the student body, those things. And then he wants us to go out and he wants us to work in the community. Right now, it's a big need for what we call homeschooling. A lot of parents don't know how to do homeschooling or to use their computers. So Essex becomes a way in which we call it altruistic, but something to help someone else. Stop thinking about yourself. I know some very selfish people. And you stop thinking, the more you do for others, you find that there are big rewards. So here, let me finalize this. 4 components of the goal-setting action plan. See, first you got to state the goal. What is the goal you really want? And you specify that. One of the ways I love to go on Google and say, best television, best microwave, best. So you start researching the better one that's been rated. And so you get that targeted action plan. And then you commit yourself to energy. You commit yourself to a schedule. And then you resolve in your mind, you're going to make it no matter what. Now, look at this brother. He's there and happy, and he's ready to go, and he's dreaming. And I love Dr. King's speech, I have a dream, but you got to get up out of that bed. You're not going to make it. Sleeping there, dreaming, and looking up in the ceiling with your bags packed, ready to go into a millionaire's house. No, you got to get up, and you have to do and have to have an action plan. And you must always believe there's a way to get there. You can't always see it. Look at that fog all over this bridge. But you're going to keep driving on that bridge because you know at somewhere at the end, you're going to meet or get to your goal. You can't always see how you will get there or even the road. It's not always clear. But if you keep driving and keep going, and you have that will to win, then that's as important as anything else. And yesterday is gone. Bad things that happened yesterday are gone. But today is the first day of the rest of your successful life. And I want to close with all of you saying that with me. And Joe, you say it with me. Yesterday is gone.
But the good news
is today is the first
day
of the rest of your successful
life.
Amen. Okay. So thank you for your attention. You pay attention to this old professor. He doesn't know much, but I'm learning something new every day. And Essex is your opportunity center. That's your open, that's the gate has been open. We're going to help you to learn. We're going to tutor. We're going to be there for you. We're going to be there to help you. And there have been some students, you would be inspired if you heard their stories. Mr. Frank in the biology department used to give a student their lunch money every day. And that student now is a pediatrician. Then there was another student we had, he had nowhere to live. He used to live around in the college, and the security used to catch him in different bathrooms sleeping because he had nowhere to go. And now he's an attorney in a big law firm. So what I'm saying is that people will do what they need to do in order to get, and as long as it is ethical and as long as it is law-abiding, then you are going to make it. So those of you who want to look to ahead the victory, you got to see that opportunity now. Here's my last statement. You will always miss 100% of the shots you don't take. So take that shot while you have an opening.
Amen.
Okay. Thank you, students. Thank you for your listening. And thank you, Student Life, Joseph Art, and all of you in student life who are working very hard to shore up and support not only the academic effort, but our students and their morale and their well-being. God bless you.
It's always a pleasure to have you helping us with that, sir. Now, students and those of you watching at home, I came to this college about 11 years ago. Dr. Spellman was one of the first people that I saw spoke, and one of the sentiments that he shared today is one of the things that I heard that on that first day I heard him speak about 11 years ago. And he said, you can have as many goals as you want, but a goal without an action plan is just simply a wish. It's just a wish. It's a dream. It's something in your head, and you got to get it out of your head. If you don't set that action plan, your goal is never going to go anywhere. It's just a wish. And I've carried that with me. It's resonated this time, and I always try to remember these important words of wisdom whenever I'm doing anything in my life, so you should too. I want to thank you for tuning into the Virtual Cafe today. We had the pleasure of having our guest, Dr. Spellman, with us once again. We'll be with him next week again. Please keep tuning in. Please keep absorbing all the knowledge and wonderful things that we have to show you. Please take care of yourself and your family, and try to find something productive and something worthwhile and positive that could come out of this quarantine besides just sitting at home and eating all the peanut butter, okay? Hope you see you on the next time. Dr. Spellman,
Okay.
got anything?
Thank you.
We'll see you on the next time. Until then, be safe, be smart, stay educated. Take care.